Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today and you guys are continuing to grow that business each and every day. It is 1 o'clock in the morning when I decided to shoot this video. I was either I'm going to go to bed or I'm going to shoot this video, and I have a long day of sourcing tomorrow. So I was like, you know what? I really don't want to have to go out and source and then make a video, and it'd be a really jumbled day and the video would get out really, really late. So I'm going to make it right now. We're still energetic. I'm going to go to bed right after this, but no worries. Let's get right into it. So the video today I wanted to make was relisting items and why it's so important, especially right now since we're so close to the holiday season. I mean, we're 12 days away until Black Friday or around that time. So right now is as good as a time as ever to get those listings redone, relisted, and to make those sales. So I actually have been doing this the past week. I have been trying to sit down and do about 10 to 20 listings and relist them. Now, I'm not talking about making new listings. On top of my new listings, I also am trying to go back through all 300 of my listings and relist the ones and check the prices on them. Okay, so let's just do this in order. So the first thing I want to do is check the price. So I'll go in and I'll make sure I'm not being undercut. And I mean, there were some items that were like 40 that I had to put at $40 and someone else had undercut me at 20. And at that point you have to ask yourself, do I need to cut my price down that much, or is this person really just undercutting that much, or what's going on with the price at that point, right? So for me, that item, I decided to just go ahead and cut down to $20 because it wasn't worth it for me really to keep it. I've had it for so long. I didn't pay much for it. I'll break even or maybe lose a few dollars just depending on how much I actually paid for the item. So at that point, you really just need to ask yourself, should I keep it? Should I wait out these other buyers, even though I've had it for so long? It's really up to you, but I thought it would be a good decision just to kind of get out of it and recoup that money. So another thing I want to do before I relist an item is make sure the pictures are good. So a lot of the reasons people don't click on your items is because they don't have good pictures. I mean, why would they want to click on something that's dark, or maybe you can't see everything in it, or it's just not a really good picture? You know a good picture when you see one. When you go on eBay, they have white backgrounds. They're easy to see when you scroll through. That's what your pictures need to be like, okay? If your pictures are not like that, you need to retake them. So I'm going to post up 2 pictures here. And back when, I would say about a year ago, I wasn't really taking great pictures. I was just taking pictures to take pictures, right? Just to put them up, just to get things sold. Well, now that I just got a new camera, I got a new phone. I got the S10 Plus. My other phone finally went out as a S7. So I've had that one for 3 to 4 years. About almost 4 years, I think it came out. Anyway, this camera is so much better, and I hate spending money on electronics like this. The last phone I didn't even buy. I got it for free because we had so many points saved up. So I didn't even buy my last phone on our family plan. And so I hate buying electronics like that. They're awesome to have, but it's so much money, right? But I was like, you know what? It'll definitely help me with the quality of my pictures. And it has so much, guys. It is so nice. I mean, I even got a little light for myself. And that's another thing. I'm going to do an in-depth video on how I take my pictures. But great lighting and a white background will pretty much do it. For the simplest of pictures, guys. You just need to make sure your pictures are good. If they're not, people are going to click on them. And like I've said before, it's all about convenience. If someone goes on eBay and they see, say you're selling this hat right here. These are my 2 hats. I have 2 hats, right? So say you're selling this hat and one picture is a picture like this and it's just a hat just sitting there and you can't really tell. And another one's sitting like this and it has a white background. I mean, which one are you going to pick? I mean, someone that's a super money saver is obviously going to click on the cheapest one to see if it's something they want. But someone that's just kind of scrolling through, they don't really care. Oh, that one's $1 or $2 more, but I can tell what it is. They're not going to message you and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. They're going to buy the one that they don't need to do that. They can just buy it and then it gets to their house, right? So that's something you need to take into account is your pictures, okay? Next up, your titles. They're not really that important. Just don't have them jumbled up and kind of, messy like that. For me, I've been doing the same type of title for the past few years, so I didn't really have to change any titles. But if you have been reselling for a while now and you're kind of getting up to being more professional, or you are more professional, just make sure to check your titles and make sure they're not jumbled and just kind of keywords just thrown around there to try and make people buy your item. Don't do that. Don't put rare or hot or anything like that. Just put what the item is. I hate when people do all that crap, like vintage, rare. Like, you don't need to put that, guys. People know what they're buying. They know it's vintage. They know it's rare if they're going to buy it. There's no point in putting that in the title. Okay. So next up is shipping. So this was a big one for me. A few months back, I actually used to use different shipping methods when I was shipping a while back. Instead of using just like flat rate shipping, and because I do free shipping on all my items except for like the really, really big stuff, right? So I used to have it to where it would be a calculated shipping. So when you check out, it'll be calculated depending on where you live. I don't do that anymore because when you go to do that, people don't, again, they don't want to have to calculate the shipping. And I know eBay does it for you. You can just click on it, go to the bottom. They don't care. They just want $0 free shipping. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing, is like, I always did free shipping, but it still made you calculate it, which it's really dumb. It'll say calculated shipping, free shipping, and then it makes you calculate. It's really dumb. Nonetheless, I fixed all those listings. I didn't even mean to do that in the first place. That's just what happened. That was like the standard thing when you went to post something. It just posted like that, which really sucks. I don't know why it does, and it still does that. Like, you have to change it. So make sure, I'll probably do a video on that just to make sure that it doesn't happen to you guys. But just make sure you have whatever your shipping needs to be. I also in the past used to use like retail ground and like economy ground instead of just using priority. I'll do a video on that in the future as well. Don't use retail and economy, just use priority. It's like 50 cents more, and it gets to your buyer like 2 or 3 days after they buy it instead of like a week after they buy it. So I mean, just spend the extra 50 cents, guys. It's really not a big deal. I used to be like, oh, I save as much money as possible, only spend what you need to spend. Don't try to pay up for things. It's worth it. Plus, you get the $50 insurance on it as well. Another thing you could definitely look for when you're going to relist your items is whether or not they should be on auction or buy it now or have a best offer. So this is something I don't do very often. I hardly ever do auction because you pretty much get screwed most of the time doing auctions. Really, auctions are only used for like liquidating things. At that point is when I would actually use an auction, is when something's just not selling. And even at that point, I do not feel comfortable doing auctions. I've done them before with bulk lots, like with bulk video game lots that I knew weren't going to sell individually and they weren't selling on buy it now. I then put them in at 99 cents with whatever the shipping cost is. Okay, so if you're gonna do auctions, never do free shipping. In my opinion, other people will tell you different, but if you're gonna do an auction, I would do the shipping cost. So if it costs $10, put $10 shipping and then put 99 cents. That way the shipping is covered just in case it does sell for 99 cents, because it does happen. But like I said, I think it's too risky to do auction unless you just really need to get rid of the item. Doing buy it nows is probably the safest, and you need to look at if you need to do buy or best offers on that buy it now. So pretty much on all my items, I do use best offer, just because it kind of gives that buyer the option. Hey, it's there. If I want to sell it for, $20 and I have it up for 25, I'll take the $20, and sometimes they won't even offer you anything, right? So I would say always have a best offer available unless it's an item that sells very quickly and the supply and the demand don't meet each other, and there's just so much demand but not enough supply, and eventually yours will sell. But if it's kind of like a collectible or something that doesn't sell very much, you want to have that best offer available just in case like there's a person sending multiple offers to multiple people that have the same thing because they're collectors and they try and get the best price for everything. So you can also take that into consideration. I know a lot of people don't do best offers like on their first listing, so they'll list it for a month, and then if it doesn't sell, they'll relist it with the best offer. So it really just depends on how fast you want to sell it, but I always do best offers on most of my stuff except for the stuff that sells really, really fast. And the last thing here that I think is really, really important, that doesn't really have anything to do with relisting the item, but you will see it when you go to look at the items you're going to relist. When you go to your active listings, you'll see the tab that says send best offer. Okay, guys. So when you're scrolling through stuff that you need to relist, or that you're just looking at your listings and you see that best offer, send best offer, go ahead and do that. Okay. So I sent like 5 or 10 of the best offers that I had available at the time that I was going through the listings, and I actually sold 3 items. Okay, so I sold 3 items by just sending a best offer, and someone might not just take your best offer right away. So if it's like a $50 item and you offer them 40, they can still counter back. And I did have someone do that. I had like a pair of shoes up that I'd had forever. I had them up for like 90, and I finally priced them down to 75. I sent like a $60 offer and someone countered back at 55 and I took it. So right there, I mean, it was just so nice that somebody finally bought those shoes because all I did was send them a best offer, right? So I think that's very important to take advantage of, is send best offers to people, because it is something that can drive and create sales. I did think of one more thing I wanted to put in here before I ended the video, and that is you can actually either sell similar or relist the item. So when you end an item and you go to relist it, you go to the unsold page, it allows you to either sell similar or relist, okay? And it allows you, both of them allow you to keep your photos, your description, everything you've already done, but one just creates a new item ID, an item code, just a long strand of numbers. The other one keeps the same one. They both relist it like a new item, but one keeps it and one doesn't. So what happens is when I go to relist my items, the only time I actually relist is if it has watchers. So if there's even one person watching it, once you relist that item at a lower price, or the same price if you keep it at the same price, I usually, drop it by a few dollars or even $1 if it's something that's not making me much profit. But nonetheless, I'll relist it and it'll notify that buyer that I relisted the item so that they know, oh, hey, that item that I watched 3 months ago just got relisted. So that's always something you could look at. Or you can just go ahead and sell similar if there's no one watching. You can just create a new listing. Why not? There's no harm to it. So definitely you could take a look at either of those options, and let me know down below, guys. Do you use sell similar or do you relist? I'd really like to know that. And obviously I want to make a community here. I say it every single video, so make sure to interact with each other. It'd really help everyone out. It'd help me out to get an understanding of how you guys resell, and we all want to become better resellers. So let's go ahead and do that if you guys want to. And also, if you guys like the video, definitely hit that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it to help the channel grow. And if you want to see more of me in your subscription feed, guys, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night or day, where whatever it is. Continue to keep your business growing each and every day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.